Hi YouTube.
Hey YouTube friends and family, it's your boy GB Reviews, and today I'm doing a very special meal. I'm doing duck from HelloFresh. I've never cooked duck before. I love duck. It's like my favorite type of poultry, but I've never cooked it before. So today we're gonna cook duck. We're gonna do a cherry ancho duck, which again, I've never done that before. We're doing a cherry glaze. One thing I will say with the HelloFresh, while the food is good and the recipes are easy to follow, the parts that I'm a bit disappointed with is on several occasions they've left ingredients out. Luckily, your boy GB has some cherry spread in my repertoire of things that's in my refrigerator, because that's how I get down. And so I didn't have to really fret that they left out the cherries in this cherry duck breast I'm supposed to be making. Who would have thunk it? So anyway, I'm gonna go through the ingredients. I'm gonna show you my cherry spread because I had to include cherry spread. I'll show you the recipe card. I'll show you the fresh ingredients that they included. And then we're gonna go through it really quickly. I'm gonna read through the instructions because I had to like sit on the line with customer service to try to resolve this. It took longer than I thought. And so I'm cooking later than I wanted to, but that doesn't matter for you because I'm gonna still read you the instructions, but I'm gonna go through all of the steps really quickly. We're gonna speed it up. And then you'll see me do the dish. This whole thing should take 40 minutes. I'm assuming it's gonna take a little bit longer with the filming and moving, but we're gonna try to get it done in 40 minutes. Remember to preheat your oven. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Before you start, preheat your oven to 425 because you need your oven. And normally the preheating of ovens just takes the longest part of the thing. So you're gonna preheat your oven. So things that we're gonna do today is we're gonna make duck, we're gonna make rice, we're gonna cook our green beans in the oven. So we know those are all the things that we have to do. Simple steps, simple, easy. I hope it turns out well. Let's get to the ingredients. So when we're looking at the ingredients, we're looking at the dry cherries. They did not send me cherry spread. Here's the cherry spread that I use, my own cherry spread. So ancho, chili powder, duck breast, green beans, jasmine rice, demi-glace. Instead, they sent me 2 packets of pistachios for the pistachio rice and scallions. So we're gonna deal with all of these ingredients. Oh, and from your pantry, you're gonna need olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then remember, they send you your handy dandy card. Here's your handy dandy instructions. And here's your handy dandy ingredients that you're supposed to have. So we're gonna get at this. I'm gonna go through the instructions really quickly just because they're simple steps. And then we're gonna start doing everything. And then I'm gonna try to video as much as I can, everything, and then we'll videotape the plating. So with that. So YouTube friends and family, the first thing we're gonna do, there's only 6 steps to this process. The first thing that we have to do is crisp the duck. So you're gonna need a medium frying pan. You're gonna wash and dry, and you're gonna pat this dry, just like we would do with all our meats. You're gonna pat this dry with a paper towel. And then you're gonna salt and pepper it. You're just gonna lightly salt and pepper it. We have our salt, we have our pepper. We'll salt and pepper it. And then we'll place with the skin side down. So the duck skin side down, you can see the skin is this side and then they have the other side. Skin side down, we're gonna put it in the pan and we're gonna, on medium heat, you're gonna let that just sit on medium heat for 15 to 20 minutes. You don't really need to put any oil because the duck actually, the duck just releases a lot of fat when you're cooking it. As long as you're using a nonstick pan, you should be good. And then you wanna, as you are cooking it, you wanna make sure you take some of that fat off just because it produces a lot of fat. Duck meat is kind of fatty. So you wanna make sure you take that off. And that's gonna stay for like 15 to 20 minutes. So I would suggest setting a timer because you don't really have to look at it a lot, but you wanna make sure it's going. Your second step, which you're gonna do concurrent to the first step, which means you're gonna do it at the same time, is you're gonna prep your green beans. You're gonna get a baking tray, put your green beans on them, and you're gonna drizzle oil, salt, and pepper on them, and you're gonna put it on the top rack in the oven. Remember, we preheated our oven to 425. That's gonna be done in 12 to 15 minutes. While your beans are roasting, we're gonna trim our scallions. And so you remember we're trimming the scallions, you typically cut the whites from the greens, and then we're gonna thinly slice those after we separate the whites from the greens. We're gonna use the green part for garnishing, and the white parts will cook in our rice. And then third step Third step, we're going to cooking our rice. We've cooked rice a lot together. There's no difference now. In your pan, small pot, you're gonna melt 1 tablespoon of butter. You're gonna have it over medium-high heat. Then you're gonna add your scallion whites, the scallion whites that we chopped. We're gonna add that, and then we're gonna cook that a little bit. So you wanna cook that until it's about soft, 1 minute, and then we're gonna stir in our rice and 3/4 cups of water. So our rice, 3/4 cups of water. We're gonna bring it to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, we'll put it on the back burner, and then we'll let that simmer on the back burner. You're gonna let that cook for 15 to 18 minutes. And then you're gonna keep that covered and turn the heat off when you're done. Now, step 4, we're going back to our duck. Remember, our duck has been cooking for 15 to 20 minutes. Now we're gonna, while the rice is cooking in a small bowl, we're gonna combine our demi-glace chicken, demi-glace, the chili powder, and 1/4 of a cup of water. We're gonna just do that in a bowl. I have our bowl here. And then you're gonna pour in your jam mixture, and you're gonna add your dried cherries. So we don't have a jam mixture, so we're using jam that I have here. And then we'll put in our dried cherries, and then we're gonna mix all that together. And then you're gonna simmer until the sauce is thickened. So we're gonna put that on, we're pouring that over the duck. And then we're gonna cook that for 3 to 5 minutes, because remember, our duck is now cooked for 15 to 20 minutes. The duck is, for the most part, pretty cooked. But we wanna make sure that we're cooking it for 3 to 5 minutes, and then we're gonna let that thicken. If the sauce is too thick when you put it into the pan with the duck, you wanna make sure you add 1 to 2 tablespoons of water to that, and that'll loosen it up. And then step 5, we're gonna finish the sauce, and we're gonna finish the rice. So we're gonna reduce the heat of the sauce to low. We're gonna put in 1 tablespoon of butter. And once that butter is melted, then we're gonna salt and pepper that to taste. And then for the rice, we're gonna fluff the rice with a fork, and then you're gonna add in your pistachios, right? And so while the duck is, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this. While the duck is finishing, you wanna put it on just a cutting board, because we're gonna cut it, we're gonna slice it. So while it's cooling, we're gonna just slice it, and we'll slice it lengthwise into maybe like 6 or 7 pieces. And then we'll serve it, and I'll plate it, and we'll taste it, and it'll be done. So 6 steps, we're gonna go through it quickly. I'm not gonna talk anymore unless there's something that pops up that we need to talk about, but other than that, so we're just gonna move over. We're gonna start cooking our duck. So you're gonna see me do this all fast. I'm gonna pat this dry. I'm gonna salt and pepper it, and then we're gonna go across and we're gonna do everything. But I'm not gonna talk anymore unless something comes up. So let's get at it. Now that we're finished with everything, we went through we made our sauce, we got our rice done. We just have to cut our duck. And so I'm actually just gonna hold it with my hand, or hold it with a fork. And we're gonna cut it. You wanna cut it, for the purposes of the plating, you cut it diagonal. The diagonal makes the meat show up very well. It should be nice and tender when you're cutting it. It should be easy to cut through. And you cut it into either 4 or 5 slices. I'm gonna cut it into 5 slices. and then now we're gonna plate it. So that's it. It was actually quite simple. The meal I think is gonna be good, but we're gonna plate it, we'll taste it, and then we'll be done. All of that took the rice, the beans, the duck, all took 20 minutes. You can cook it all together. Like I said, the filming takes a little bit longer, but for the most part, this is pretty straightforward for it to be a meal that's considered an advanced meal. So, all right, let's get to plating. All right, YouTube friends and family, we finally made it to the end. I plated it, I showed you how to plate it, and we are to the final test, which is the taste test. And so I'm gonna check it out. Pistachio rice, I've never had before. I've never cooked my own duck before. So we're gonna see how this turns out. I think it should be pretty good. The rice is good. I've never had rice with nuts in it before, or at least not with pistachios in it. But it's surprisingly not what I was expecting. I was expecting something to be just kind of strange. The green beans in the oven, perfectly grilled in the oven or roasted in the oven. Nice, soft, tender. Salt and pepper them well, but you need to make sure you salt and pepper them to your taste. And then the final test is the duck. Like I said, I've never made duck before. This is a cherry duck. Wow. Duck at home, I might not buy duck out ever again. This is so good. And you know, cooking the duck skin for 20 minutes, if you like bacon, I mean, I don't really eat bacon anymore, but if you like bacon, it tastes like bacon. Duck skin cooked for that long, seared, and it just seals in all the flavor, and you don't have to put any oil. It's just the duck fat cooked itself. That is so good. And the funny thing is, this is a meal that you would go to like a high-end restaurant in DC, and it would cost you $100 to get duck breast. And you can either buy it from the store, you can get it from HelloFresh. I think this was 15 bucks. 15 bucks for meals for 2 people. It's amazing. And the cherries, even though, like I said, I had to go out and get the cherries myself, or have my own cherries, I should say. But the cherry sauce, perfect. But I could just as easily do like a passion fruit or a pomegranate sauce because I have jam and I have dried pomegranate. I hope you like this video. Please hit the like button for the algorithm. Please leave your comments below. Let me know what you think of this meal. Let me know if you tried it. Let me know if you cooked duck before. And also, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to build this community. We're doing a few different things. We're doing food. We're doing car reviews. Well, I review everything. That's why it says GB reviews everything. But if you have things that you want me to talk about, within reason, I will talk about them. But thank you very much. Subscribe and like below.
Subscribe right below.